Wonderful.
Shout out to Sam, who was on camera for exactly 2 seconds while I was monologuing. Sorry, Sam.
Well, I think we should have just tried to draw bind onto Haven. That would have been very interesting. That would have been a bit...
Freeform. I feel like I could draw most of the Valorant maps from memory. You know, I have pretty good map awareness. I'm pretty good at learning new maps. I feel like if you give me a blank slate, I could draw most of the maps from memory.
That's definitely a plus for you. I can't even draw. This is where I start. So,
Well, I can't draw either, but I'm at like MS Paint level, you know? They would be vaguely recognizable as maps if you squinted on them sideways.
I'm looking forward to that YouTube channel of yours with explaining it on that one. In the meantime, TSM taking a lot of bathroom control here, right, TJ? We are on bind, and this banger matchup is starting off with a lot of aggressions coming in from the defenders.
Yep, all across the map, complexity. Taking a few steps forward, I will say TSM have this aggression I was criticizing previously teams for not having. Check out that hard push from their Sova, already coming around behind. Complexity are so red right now. Oh my god!
What a job. Oh, and Cutler joining in, Complexity. They need to find a few frags right now, and they do so. The B side is about to be under big pressure, as in the meantime, we see somebody coming in from behind. This flank could become a massive problem, as you might have side control. Hayes taking out another. Cutler falls as well, and Com is the last man standing here on the side of Complexity, as he has a bit of control. Hayes is out of his, well, eyesight, and he's taking him out with a one-tap. The Classic does the job, and TSM take the first.
Very well played by TSM. They managed to do a really, really fun job of pushing out instantly. I believe that was Drone over from the A side. He shoves all the way through showers, ends up behind the entirety of Complexity, and the round should just be over then. TSM get kind of weirdly spicy over on the B side, but who can blame him? Wardell just wants to get his shorty in on the action. And that makes things a little bit dangerous, but the rest of the round was in the bag from there. He's got like 1 HP right now. Drone is so barely alive. Show me Drone's HP, observer, please.
Well, what you got here right now is just
5.
Yeah. I mean, and no Sage. Put that. Remind yourself of that right now. There's no Sage. So the healing is impossible. The bomb is going down. Complexity gets a spike on the ground, and they have a good bunch of control here in TJ. CT is also a position they have obtained, but this should be not too tough for TSM to make it work.
Ooh. He's tapped. There comes the execute. Complexity for 2 frags.
This is absolutely worrying right now for TSM. They have to get the defuse on ASAP, and as now Haste falls, Cutler knows about Heaven as well as Market as part, and that is Lambs. Either way, they still try to defuse, make it work. It's not even halved. It's not even on half. Drone covers him, and that is everybody dead. Is it enough? No, it isn't.
Ooh.
Oh, and there is the man you pointed out in the beginning with 5 HP still standing.
Shout out to Drone. No, very good win for Complexity, though. Because of that aggression, they now have themselves, because of that pickup, they now have themselves decent bank accounts, and of course TSM's econ is pretty shattered here. They're going to be able to scrape together, I think, a mixed buy. I think we end up with some rifles, some SMGs here. And Complexity on the opposite end will have mostly rifles, some SMGs. Oh, Bulldogs. They get away with Bulldogs.
Well, TSM running the non-Sage setup here is a very enjoyable change to things.
Joke's over! You're dead!
So right now, Phoenix, it's all taking a lot of information. Hookah is fairly clear, and now he's reset back. So, as Sova has been hiding himself, that could be actually quite pivotal to Complexity's, pardon, to TSM's rotation anytime soon, as they might think there's nobody even close B.
Very well played by Com getting this drone all the way up there.
Out of charge.
So they now know that this behold is very passive. What that means for Complexity is, okay, we can kind of leave that. We can go over to A and not really worry about a quick shove from B. It's the most useful information they get out of there. And actually, the wires get crossed over on TSM. I think they heard that drone. They send drone himself over towards the B site, and that means there's only 2 players here on A on Execute.
The A side fairly open. Sabrosa takes Com already, and this is the Sheriff doing its job. Same goes for Scouts. Drown is taking out AGM quite easily, and suddenly a good piece and chunk of the position already belongs to TSM. One after another falls, and it's Jet who does a good bit of the job, but nope, it's Drone. Just shows that you don't need big investments to make it work. He loves his little sniper rifle, and TSM take the second. With the worst weaponry, they still find themselves out on top.
Very good map control. Very good map positioning. Again, from TSM. Both rounds they've won have been off the back of getting people in behind Complexity, giving that information over. They're able to very quickly get, I believe it was hazed that round very far forward behind the shove onto A. And as soon as that happens, Complexity are pincered in, and despite the weapon disadvantage, TSM win gunfights if you give them a chance. I know that's a hot take.
Surprise, surprise. As right now,
Oh, he survived that.
Was he spotted? I'm not so even sure if
Okay,
he was
Sabrosa
spotted
knew
there.
where he was.
Hey, Molly just forces them a little bit back. And Complexity have no real other option than seeing TSM taking a good bit of room. With Sabrosa finding the first, that's a gift. And his spray doesn't transfer onto XP3.
Only one player left here at B, that will be Wardell. And he's aggressive. Very well done. That opens up their options. They'll have a teleporter in. And Complexity, who nothing left they can do in the round. Hazed there again on the flank, again the pressure. Because he's able to get into the backlines out of A, very aggressive pushing. This is the kind of map control you can see teams abuse against opponents who aren't quite able to keep up with their quick movement. I mean, map movement, not necessarily B-hopping, although Wardell makes a damn good case for the latter. All they're doing very well right now is TSM, the second they spot an opportunity, a space, a vacuum where Complexity aren't properly holding, they shove a player into it. And that results in them consistently having the flank, having the intel on where Complexity are headed.
Yeah, right now it's very much time for an opening as, yep, that comes in from Sova. Wardell dodges it as he stays high enough.
Oh my god.
That was well done by him, and that's even a frag. Wardell opening up the round. And Complexity, they still got that one opportunity for a revive, but there it comes. But now they have a good bit of information. TSM might just make the right rotation.
TSM do have the information. They should have just heard everyone running away. Of course, they were running away from Sabrosa and his ulti, though. So there's no telling what they actually do. They know that Complexity are frozen kind of in the alleyways right now in the market, so they'll start to spread out back to a default. This default with the pressure from Sabrosa
This control.
will wait A, and that indeed is where Complexity is headed.
And, the amount of information they've gained already is just absolutely massive. The A side is going to be stacked right now, and Cypher makes it work with the cage, but there's no vision as Phoenix uses wall wisely. Now it's down to Wardell to hit the right shot when suddenly it fades, and there he finds one. It's AGM who does still a good bit of a job. It's Lamps that is under control, but I'd rather choose to teleport. And that means Sabrosa got to do a job. XP fails, another one, and teleported indeed. But he just bunny hopped through Ivy, out connector, onto the B side.
Com will get the plant, and they've got AGM holding, but they've not dealt with Sabrosa. He's going to be the pain in their backside right now.
Joke's over. You're dead.
And they can't ignore him. That's the thing. Sabrosa got a good bit of room to work with, but he doesn't check onto his left-hand side, and this defense might just flourish for Complexity as Com gains a slight bit of information. Defuse has been initiated, and Drone knows how to reply. TSM is making it work, and I have to say, TJ, the TSM setup is so enjoyable as they dodged Sage entirely due to the fact that they gained so much information and room. Information with the obvious too, and room with the strengths of a Sub-Rosa.
I'm... Alright. I don't want to
ahead.
flame TSM. They won that round. And Wardell's doing really good, and that's, I swear, the only reason I'm about to be mean to him. He bought the off that round, and did you see his positioning? Like, right next to Teleporter, there was a firewall up, and he just, like, walked and stood next to Teleporter from lamps onto site, watching this firewall where he knows there's, like, 4 people on the opposite side, and he's gotten off.
Revealing area.
I think the theory was he was going to get the tag and then dash away. But come on, Complexity aren't that bad.
A confidence can
Big
become a problem.
confidence, don't get me wrong.
Or
Big confident energy, as they say on the streets.
I never heard that on the streets, but it could be that we're on the streets or not talking English. That could be.
This is the streets.
Yeah. In the meantime, Warley
How
holding...
did they do this? They're just on site.
Easily. Just holding it over long. That is the bomb down. Oh, and Wardell is showing what he's capable of. Beautiful frags. He just gets there with the operator. The site's still under control of Complexity. As Com is not so sure where to go from this. He's deep down in the container, gains a good bit of information, as in the meantime, Sub-Rosa takes down one, and Haste takes out the final one. And there's a point I have to make, TJ. There's one thing that is so interesting about this. TSM, Team Solo Mid, when we take a look at their scoreboard, there's something they hardly do. There has been a slight change to it, and that's what we're going to see in a second. Perfect. So Wardell, as we all know, loves to play Jet. That's so cool. But Drone is legitimately rarely playing Sova. Sub-Rosa, same for him, is a man who rarely plays Phoenix. They have done some major change, and this might be just the interesting aspect for this entire tournament. TSM has something to themselves.
Well, makes sense that maybe against some opponents you are reasonably sure you're going to come out on top of here in groups. You get a little bit more fancy, make your players be able to flex. I think the future Valorant is headed for is a future where all players can play all roles, right?
Exactly.
You want to be able to be a little bit more flexible with who's carrying what, so that as we get more characters, you can shuffle around what characters are in your lineup. Because nobody's going to be able to play all characters, but if everyone can play a controlling character, an aggressive character, then you can flex things around so you have the lineup of specific agents that you want.
My eyes are better than yours.
And this Cutler patiently waits. Complexity lose another. 50 seconds left. First go as well. And now it's only XP trying to make anything work there, but it's a shooting gallery they have opened, and TSM is practicing right now. This is a 6-1 lead on the defense that just works by the book.
I'm still not over that round I guess it was 2 rounds ago, where Complexity just managed to walk out onto the site. TSM played full retake on B. The only reason that had happened was because of how aggressive TSM are consistently getting. And they played it really well. Like, Wardell falling off the side, holding from the side with the AWP is absolutely the right call. But TSM are just so consistently shoving down that B long, shoving down the aggressive angle. That their entire rounds are pivoting on it now.
As you see right there, Wardell as well, Sub-Rosa, those guys have literally no chill. They're not even relaxing a slight bit. In the meantime, though, they ignore a short, which opens up quite good opportunity for Complexity as the flank for them is ready.
Really well played on the aggression. Normally, TSM, as I said, are constantly shoving here. Complexity are ready to try and do something with it.
Clean.
Doesn't work out, obviously. But I like the adaptation and awareness. Oh my god.
There it comes. Ouch. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Padrone is countering him manually. There it goes. A fair trade, you have to say. A fair trade. And that leaves us with the 7-1. This is pure domination here, TJ. And TSM is not hitting the break once.
I like the aggression from TSM, as I was talking about. Ideally, the way you punish something like that is you hold a very firm default across the map, you wait for TSM's shove from Sub Rosa or Wardell to come out, and then you punish them as they're trying to get more intel. But TSM are grouping for a lot of these pushes. You can see they shift Wardell last round over towards Showers, and they like triple push it. That means that Complexity's attempted punish is suddenly just a full-on gunfight.
And AGM
My
takes
God.
that duel without any utility. Jones says, you know what, I think I'm confident enough for that. And takes down everybody who comes his way. In the end, eventually he falls, but Complexity, a wounded Brimstone, and two players with not the best equipment. Soba far away, trying to take a bit more of B-long control, but TSM, they really are sitting in the driver's seat. And man, they are going sideways while Complexity don't even have the seatbelt on.
Genuinely unsure what that means, Vincent, but I like it.
I guess it's a
I
car
would
for you.
agree that Complexity's crash safety record is currently not looking so good.
Not at all.
I said earlier, TSM are statistically the #1 rated team in North America. Obviously, results change, and the title of best team in NA is a lot more than stats, but you're certainly seeing that they are a step up over the teams a tier below them.
So as Cutler takes out Calm, Complexity only can rely on their Brimstone. That's where they'll just coming in with the short. He actually thinks him, but he's not falling down. 9 points of health, making it a little tough for Frisco. Ace is eliminating him in the end. And it's just by the book from TSM. Hardly any flaws. Insane confidence. Individuals performing the way they want it. And Complexity, they're asking themselves, where do we start here?
It was the pizza slice strat. You're just running out, slapping down the ice wall, trying to slam down the spike. Normally, the needed hold for that is lamp room, and then you need to worry about the ice wall breaking. TSM, of course, win the fight in lamp room, and then break the ice wall and win that fight as well. And when you can do that, it doesn't so much matter what your strats are, and it more starts mattering about the individual gunfights. I mean, just look at how aggressive Wardell feels comfortable getting here. Although they hear the drone, they're not comfortable anymore. They're hiding the presence of Wardell there, which is fun. They make sure Wardell doesn't get spotted by the drone because he's the player who's been rotating around the map.
And Safroza, he's gonna experience something very interesting. Takes down AGM, who was actually relying on his teammates, but he absolutely got the night. As he though has been revived, TSM absolutely knows where a good chunk of the opponents are awaiting them. And as they can enter Elbow, Mortal is hopping out of that window. And poor Frisco once more all on his own. Hops into CT. That operator most likely will find a frag. As I say, that flashbang works. AGM takes on Walder. Frisco also finds haste. And that flank pays off. Could be the second round. And as I say so, AGM finds drone. This is a good opportunity.
Where's that orbital laser headed? He was prepped for it, but the entrance doesn't come through. He doesn't hear the footsteps, so instead it's just the gun. Frisco not wanting to waste the orbital laser. They move the spike over to the opposite site, taking their time as Complexity. Very well played. And that's a good round on them, predicated on just a long shove while the double stack was inside of Hookah. Wardell's movement there, kind of undoing Complexity, or sorry, TSM. And that was because TSM are initially just going to double shove, and you get Wardell to peek there, and then you can do whatever, right? But that double shove gets cancelled by the drone, so now they've got two players inside Hookah, and they're not doing anything with it. And that's where it becomes a problem. The quick peek from Wardell this round confirms there's nobody shoving, so we're back to a default. Focus on long.
And there it comes. I mean, Safroza taking down two there with ease as XP has the antidote to that. But again, Complexity repeating what they've done before, considering it to be a valuable idea. I mean, with that orbital strike, you definitely gain a lot of access. But as you see, the utility, for example, is missing on Sage. So not to be stalled, but in the meantime, they don't even care. Just getting onto the site. and making that one work. 9-2 is outstanding from TSM.
Wardell's just recording his frag movie. Walks out onto the site with the AWP, goes for the close range flex. Complexity set for the same tank that worked last time, but they don't, of course, have the benefit of the reasons it worked last time. That time, Wardell and Sub Rosa are playing much more safe over on B. They pull back Sub Rosa, or sorry, Wardell shoves Sub Rosa out into long. Sub Rosa finds the 2 frags as the smoke fades. Wardell's able to just kite back through the site into the hallways. Ready to go with the operator, and there's never a crack in the defense.
True. I love what TSM is doing. It really shows
Get out of my way.
that, especially what Sub Rosa said in an interview, they really rewatch themselves. They try to reinvent themselves. They try to make it work with different characters. In this case, a different character doesn't help Drone, as though
Get out of my way.
Jet falls. Frisco knows how to reach right there on Haste, and poor Cutler is absolutely trapped on the site. Another aggressive take from Complexity that just might pay off. They really used everything they could get for getting a bit of information. TSM is not done yet here in this final round of the half.
Yeah, you do have the knives currently out for Wardell. So this is full Wardell kit, like close range weaponry and long range. And Surprise has managed to backstab quite well. 2v3 is winnable, especially when you know roughly where everyone is.
It's absolutely winnable, and Sabrosa goes fully into it. Wardell whiffs his shot and realizes, that's it, I'm out of the game. And it's only a single man to save the day, but most definitely, Sabrosa has no real chance in it. 9-3 means TSM now switches over there on the aggressor side with 2 information agents, which is making it fairly interesting to see. Jet has to do a lot of site opening right now.
I want to call out, if we can, the early punish of that shove from TSM. Happened at the very start of the round, but it was Ohai walking out with the dives up into the smoke on showers and just waiting to see who stepped into it. And that's kind of where you have to go if a team's bullying you like this.
Right here.
A lot of teams make the mistake of just over-clustering, saying, okay, we're going to play really safe, bring everyone together, just nail this one site. And I want to give a shout-out to Complexity for making the correct adaptation instead, bringing all their players together. Obviously would be punished, so instead you go to punish the aggression. Oh, and they go aggressive.
No, that's fast. And that is absolutely fast. That works. A brilliant job over there along. They decide to do it like that, and that is the bomb wrapped in paper, in wonderful Christmas paper. AGM is holding it together with his teammates. Now is the time to not lose any more players, but AGM at least takes down Cutler. It still is possible for TSM, as I say so. It's only one man standing.
That was a very good round from
I love it.
Complexity. A great start to their defense side.
Oh, no.
You're kidding me.
I'm not.
Oh, fires a shot to bait the attention of Sub Rosa. And Sub Rosa says, who is knocked? Rips off his head. And this is now, like, actually winnable.
It is.
1v2 from showers with spike in hand. And despite Complexity's amazing start, this has kind of come undone on them.
And that is where patience becomes key. Sabrosa says, whatever, I'm just going fast. He knows about the lamps players, and he makes that one work.
Too.
This is
He
wonderful.
saw too. He knows.
Yeah, he does. And suddenly, he has to be faster than anyone else. I mean, at that point in time, it's all great and nice, as though only Sober remains. He does that. Sabrosa goes around. This is the pistol in his hand. Can he make that one work? He has out the flash, but no!
Oh!
Eliminates him. What
The
a
last
pistol
2 bullets
round.
in Com's clip. The last 2 bullets in Com's clip saved the round they almost threw away.
Out of charges.
Sub Rosa, an absolute monster in the second half. Incredibly smart decision-making all through. Gets the information both players are there, drifts away, rips off the head of Frisco as he comes through. And I thought that might just be the round.
Yeah. And I mean, we had a wonderful start of this. My god, Complexity did a push over there onto bathroom for the teleporter that was outstanding. But then they got a
Repel
little
them.
too cocky in it.
Take flight.
particularly questioning of that shorty shot. I think it may have been... I don't know what... Like, maybe the idea was that you're baiting Subrose's attention. Maybe it's just pure confidence, but... It makes that round way too exciting for me.
It was all calculated. Don't worry. It was all just calculated.
Wanted to give Subrose the feeling he had a chance so they could crush his spirit. Full B shove, Complexity. Seem aware of this. They have 3 players on site for the whole. TSM, of course, on pistols, so this isn't too winnable of a round. I was talking during the pregame about why B long was such an important part of this map. This is why. You can hard commit to a B shove and then instantly cancel it. The players over towards Hookah market area can go wherever. So that shove that looked like it was full committed to B is kind of actually pushing down a mid. Granted, a rather noisy one. Here we go, back to B.
And as we head back onto B, bump down, that would be also quite great. And as we see right there, no real problem here for the majority. As I say so, Hazed is taking down 2.
That's the entries.
That's a brilliant entry. Both of them. And Hazed is getting a gift here. That's a wonderful weapon. And as Com falls, Subrose sees just an inch off his head, and he gives him a free haircut in the process. Hazed is making that one work with the Bulldog and TSM. It's a deja vu. This time, Sova has been swapped with Brimstone. And as the ult has cooled off...
He doesn't have vision.
Yeah,
He's got to get in here fast.
that's not it. It's not happening. Oh, is it? No.
Oh!
Too close for comfort. Way too close for comfort.
Complexity managed to bring that round into their hands, but I don't think that's how anti-ecos are supposed to go.
No, not
Speaking
really.
with the full weight of my 6 years of Counter-Strike analysis experience, it's not great when the pistol players get all 5 kills onto you. Complexity get baited out by that TP play. Again, when you hear TP play like that, you can't assume it's just going to go away, because that is very functionally just playing down mid. You can go anywhere from there. It was a smart play by TSM to recommit through Hookah. Oh, here's the shove. This time, just the drone from Com. But you're seeing some errors in judgment from Complexity that honestly just feel like they're, I don't know, nervous. They know they've got to be on their best form.
Well, this is going to be really the key round that matters, as finally we see TSM with the big caliber in hand, and Complexity seem to already crumble and fail. Com falls, and this means Team Solomit has no real trouble, not even a bit of sweat over there on the A side. They've taken it quite brilliantly, as the frags once more open up, then slowly approaching the back of the site, and, well, that one should be pretty much done and dusted at the moment. Complexity see the opponent reaching double digits, and possibly about to enter victorious stage soon.
Good luck, AGM. Those are my analytical thoughts. He should be hunted down here.
Well analyzed here.
Still no fun pick. So in Complexity, again, it just looks like they're shattered and making weird calls there. Hard challenging the entrance to Showers. Wardell, of course, peeks that scoped in, finds a sick pick, don't get me wrong. Great entry from Wardell. But a weird angle to hold on defense of a site. And it's the kind of thing that you shouldn't be doing against a team that can be opping, against a team that has Wardell on it. Just kind of, I'm not going to say strange, I'm going to say sloppy play across the board from Complexity. They're hard shoving this into Teleporter. This is the pistol round strat again. This time, though, only Cutler on this side of the map. He'll just play safe, and the B site's now empty. So, congratulations, TSM. You have won one free bomb site. Go buy a lottery ticket, I guess. Your luck's good.
And especially, that's going to be very interesting when they suddenly run into the traps back there. Cutler just waiting for anyone to approach him. That's a free frag on Com. No problems, as the weapons are pretty much non-existent on the side of Complexity. The bomb hit the B site. And this is exactly the TSM you want to see. This is exactly TSM that wants to prove a point in this tournament.
That was a
Cutler
nice
falls.
shot.
Yeah, that was a beautiful, even with classic.
Yeah.
Unusual.
Unfortunately, that's the only accolades we'll be giving Complexity that round, as TSM once again pull out, now 1 point away from match point, and this has been a drubbing. TSM in full control of this game.
TSM have to really show from start on what kind of team they are. And TSM, I mean, they're coming from a place where you saw only golden on their Liquipedia page, winning one after another, after another, after another. And that right here is just the complexity you want to see. Hardly any mistakes, a pistol round that has been lost in the process, which was also very close in the end. And now Complexity struggling to find any room for themselves.
I really like this AWP angle that Ohai's running here. A lot of different players hold various sides around this B site.
Enemy tag.
That's a really fun one because especially with the Jet, you have so much mobility to get wherever the pressure isn't coming from. Rather relevant though, because TSM do decide to execute towards A, and Porcom is standing in a firing pan.
And again, every single angle of the site has right now been taken out. Cutler.
Well, he gets out.
Yep, he gets out in
That's
time.
rather tragic.
That is tragic. The revive, it has not been fully denied. As then again, Ohai just knows what to do. TSM only got 2 more individuals left back to make anything work. And that should just work. In the end, not much more to do. You can try, you can dare, but Drone, no chance for you right here.
Complexity do get the round win, and that's a good sign. I want to flame that orbital strike from Fresco. You kind of need to do that preemptively. If you drop it on the sound of the spike dropping, the player will always be able to get out if they have full HP. So you need to know based on timing, hey, they're coming in. And even if there is nobody actually actively planting the spike, it's more useful that way because you're able to stop them from planting the spike for a couple more crucial seconds while you take control of the rest of the map. But just throwing it down because you hear the spike being planted is only good if you're executing behind it. And even then, I'd prefer that you did it before the spike got planted. As is, it worked out because they did execute behind it. They did have players taking control of the map as the orbital laser came in. Subrosa's teammates fell before Drone and Subrosa, who were back in that tiny little corner. And Complexity have a win on the board.
The defenders right now taking a lot of room towards B. They seem to be very tantalized in pushing down B long, but the moment they're rather waited out. Which in this equation means that A side is fairly unfortified, and they immediately go for the retake. They leave TSM the option to put that spike down, which makes it very interesting to watch. Really good job here, as they have very good characters. They have exactly those agents you're looking for to take such control. But the timer is now ticking against them.
They have no control of this site.
At all.
Frankly, this round's just over. I'm going to say that. Complexity getting ulted out of their retake. That's how confident TSM are. Hazed will find Calm as he tries to enter. There's more ults being burned here. TSM's so confident right now.
They're just making it work brilliantly.
Oh my god.
Like, I'm joining you, Heaven. I don't even care anymore. And Sage just waiting behind that smoke. It's got to be caught. Wardell is feeling it. We had it in the beginning of this broadcast, talking about Wardell coming back into action, feeling comfortable with Jet and trying to play Jet more. And here you have primetime Wardell doing exactly what he loves to do.
Okay, kids at home, that is an awful way to use every single one of the ults TSM just used. In this specific match, I believe it did significant mental damage to Complexity, who are thoroughly mental booms now. So, absolutely great tactical usage for Complexity.
Absolutely.
Do have the benefit now that TSM have literally no ults to take this site with, but they haven't needed them previously. This is very passive hold on site again from Complexity. There's going to be Vision of Showers from the triple stack. And Ohi just sitting with his knives out in lamp room, daring somebody to walk through. Full shove from Showers. 4 members of TSM in there right now.
And they can pretty much rule out B with what you see there on the minimap. Sub Rosa now enters the site, and Frisco holds a quite decent angle on it. In the meantime, there you had it. Knives out, and they work. Complexity. They most definitely struggle a little bit more in that, as they might just see their opponent pick the bomb, and they find it not so... They don't find it alluring at all. They don't find it interesting at all to consider... Yeah.
Oh, I just want somebody to love. Give me somebody to stab.
Oh, no. And
Oh,
they
they're
fall for
baited
that.
by this.
Yeah, they get baited. Oh, no, and Cutler.
Spike planted.
I'm a little... It's a tragedy that they're baited successfully by that, but you do have a 1v1 at the end of it. Hazed will be drifting back over into the sniper's nest, and AGM has to find him. This round should be TSM's in the bag, and that would be the game in the bag as well.
Unfortunate for AGM that his ultimate doesn't help him at all right now. The wall could be helpful to block any vision off of that Brimstone. And Haste waits. He will jiggle until he hears the noise. And there, it now needs to pay off. It's about time to shoot. It's about time to deny the fuse. Can he make that one work? He can't!
Oh! Pros don't
wins
fake!
the round. And even
AGM saves Complexity in this game. I kept waiting for Hayes to spray, just like you. It seemed like he was a little bit off on the angle. Normally that happens when you're not the one that plants the spike, but Hayes flattened the spike. Now, I don't want to be a critic here. It's easy, I know, for casters to be critics, but imagine if he hadn't spent his ult for no conceivable reason last round. I'm just saying, he would have won the game. I'm just throwing that out there. Oh, probably won't matter though. This much of a round lead. Wardell starts strong.
I mean, this is the first event. Pardon, the second event with this roster on the Complexity side.
This is a weird behold from Complexity. They lost that opening player at long, so they're double shoving through hookah to get something back. This only works if they move fast enough to get it backstab. They're going to be pincered right now instead.
Oh, and Hayes has no idea. Ooh. He does. Oh, AGM was focused on the wrong player. That opens up the B side quite massively, as XP might just realize that there's something just nearby. Drone, though, knows how to counter that. In Complexity, with only 2 players remaining, now got to be fairly cautious of not making that one fail. But you see it right there. TSM, they're all over B. Poor Frisco can see where he can land with that, but I doubt that this one is going to work. Frisco eliminated 13-7 for TSM.